Hey guys, we're going to be showing you how to service this 2001 ES300 Lexus rear hub and rear disc brake e-brake assembly. So the e-brake assembly is actually a set of drum brake shoes, and you can see over here on this one that there's some damage to that shoe right there. Hopefully you can see that. So what we're going to do to take these shoes off for the emergency brake is we're going to pull this hub off. It's going to make it a lot easier. And through this hole, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. So we're going to pull those 4 bolts off right now. And I'll go ahead and just break them loose first manually. You don't have to do this manually. You can do it with here's the first one. You can do it with an impact, and I would save myself some effort by doing that. But I'm just going to go ahead and break them loose here. I got one more to break loose, and then I'll grab my impact and just buzz them out. Yeah, they're all loose. So I'll pause and grab my impact. So here I go with the impact to buzz these guys. That one's out. That one's out. And that one's out. So you're not supposed to use chrome tools with an impact gun, but because I had broken these loose, there wasn't much force on it. And I really need these guys. There's my bolts. I need those chrome tools because they give me a little more flexibility to get in between everything. So I'll put these 4 bolts aside. And they've got some rust on them, and I'll go ahead and take this to the wire wheel and clean that up a little bit. Let me do it so you can see a little bit better. You can see the bolts need to be cleaned up a little better. This hub was pretty dry. And it's hard to, it wasn't, I can't say it was bad, but the bearing was a little dry when I spun it. So I decided after 200,000 miles, I'm going to put a new hub assembly here with an ABS sensor, okay? Let me go set this aside. Okay, so since I did the other side first, I kind of learned some tricks here on doing this. So the first thing we're going to do is pull the pads apart and get this self-adjuster out of here, and I'm hoping you can see that. We'll just pull this back and drop that guy out of there. There he goes. Got it stuck in there. There he goes. And what I typically like to do is make a spot for myself down on the cart where I can put all my parts and get everything cleaned up and lay it out so I can make sure to get everything back together properly. So once that's off like that, I'm going to take the return springs off. And these actually are not very strong, so you don't have to run for the hills and think these are going to fly off and hit you. Whereas on regular front drum or regular drum brakes, they are very strong. This is a little parking brake equalizer with a little spring there. Pull that out. And then lastly, these guys, these hold down springs, are not lastly, but we just push and turn, and that's off with their caps and everything, and there goes that shoe. And then I'll push and turn this one. Almost, there we go, that one's off. So I kind of learned on the first side what to do and what not to do. This back spring needs to be left in there to the end, and then when we go back together, we got to put this back spring on before we put everything back together. So I'm getting this spring off. I got it off. And now I'm going to pull the e-brake out of there if I can. I think I got it. Come on, come out of there. Oh, doesn't want to go. So I'll push this like this. Grab this guy like this. There we go. It's off. Now, what I've got to do on this, guys, I got to get that horseshoe clip off. And I usually do it by taking a pair of pliers, rotating this around if I can. See if I can rotate it around. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to go do it in the vise where I'm going to rotate this clip around. And then I'll just take a flat blade screwdriver and just spread the clip and so on. Let me go pause it and go do that. Be right back. All right, so it took me just a few minutes to wash all these parts up here in the sink with just water and a scrub brush. On the self-adjuster, I took this guy apart, pulled this end off here, pulled that guy off there as I'm pulling him out right now, and I cleaned it with brake clean in a rag, and then I lubed it up with white lithium grease. I unscrewed the adjuster, sorry, right there, and lubed the threads with white lithium grease, and that's ready to go back on. So now I've got to clean these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pads on the backing plate, get the old grease off, clean them and relube them. So let me do that right now because that's where the pads actually move back and forth. Let me get the camera to focus. Okay, let's see if it will focus on that. Not focusing yet. Sometimes if I stand there, it goes. Now it's focused. Okay. So I'm going to take my chem tool, sorry, my brake clean in a rag, and spray it on there and just get that guy all cleaned off, get all that grease off. Get another spot here. Clean that one off. This is where the pads, or the shoes, I should say, slide on. They slide on these pads here. So we want those all cleaned and some fresh lithium grease on there so that they will move around nice and smoothly. Let me turn this down a little bit so you can see a little better. So it's always really important to clean and lube these. On most older drum brake cars, the brake shoes will wear a groove into here. When you get a groove in there, then the brake shoe doesn't want to move so easily. And so then we can take a sanding disc and just sand those off so that they will move on there smoothly. These are not grooved at all, really. And they shouldn't be because they're just emergency brakes. They don't move around very much because most of the time you're either applied or you're unapplied. We're not like moving those guys around. So I got them lubed. Then the first thing I need to do is to reattach this bottom spring. So I need to come up here and get in there, and I got that guy attached there. And then I take the other shoe here and hook this guy on, hopefully. Easier said than done. Got it. Okay, so those two are hooked on. And I actually could have, it probably would have been better. I'm going to try and see if that'll stay on there while I get the e-brake back in there, and I got it back in. Okay. Okay, so the e-brake's in, and now I'm going to put this guy back up to where his spot is there, and this guy to his spot there. And what I'm going to do now is a little tricky. I'm going to put the first hold down spring part in. I'm going to let this one just hang, and I'm going to try my best to get this guy all the way back in there and on there. So this hold down spring, I need to rotate up. There we go. Now I got it. Now I can hold it where it needs to be. And I can take my spring and put this guy on there, and I should be able to hopefully compress and twist that guy on there. So let me get it lined up. And it's in. And if I can twist, and I'm having a little trouble. So let me try and get this guy back up to where he's supposed to be up there. Oh, there it is. Got it. Twist, and we're in. Okay, that guy's on. Now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to get this guy up here and twisted. A little paint there. Get this guy back to where he's supposed to be. There he is. I'm holding the back of this hold down nail with my finger on the back side. So there's that guy there. And so I'm putting this guy on like this. This old tab right there goes in that hole right there. Got it. And I should be able to spin this guy on like this. And then push down and twist. Ooh, there, I got it. Good. Those are back on there. And now I'm going to do my hold down springs back on there. Actually, this one was on first. Got that one on. I'm going to put my equalizer in there. The dome is supposed to go up. The spring went to the front. That goes right there. And I should be able to push this guy in right there. Yep, there he is. And I just need to get my last spring in here. And so I'll grab this guy here. And hopefully hook him up on there. Come on. That didn't want to go on. One more time. Be very afraid. This one's being a little pesky. Okay. Okay. And then last thing, all I need to do is to put my self-adjuster in there. But this is the threaded end, and I think it goes to the back like that. But I'm going to go look at the other side. Let me pause just 1 second. Yes, this threaded end here goes to the back. So I'm going to pull these guys apart. And there it is. So I've got my equalizer in there. I just want my brakes smooth, nice and smooth on the pads because they're cleaned and lubed. The hold downs are both in. My return springs are there. I'm good. So what I can do now is take a little brake clean and just clean off that surface where I'm going to put a new hub in there. And I'm doing that just because at 200,000 miles, I want those bearings to be new. And they do have a little O-ring that goes back in there. That guy goes there. Let me go grab the hub. Okay, so here's the hub. And I'm going to put a bolt in there. And just get it right up in there. And then get my socket on there, which is down on the floor, so I gotta grab it. And I'll put this guy back up in there and start that first bolt. And I'm having trouble starting it, so I'm gonna okay, I think I got it started, and I did. I'm gonna go, these two bolts don't need to be wire wheeled, but there is one there that needs to be wire wheeled. So let me go ahead and get these guys in here and started. See if I can get them started. Okay, I think I got that one started. And then I'll start this one down here. Okay. So I just need to go wire wheel this one and then we'll install it. So now I'm putting on the new rotor. And I feel those drums, the shoes there a little bit. And so I'm going to see where they best fit. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust them a little bit. That expands them out a little bit. See how they fit. Okay, so those have a little bit of drag on them. And for an e-brake, we really don't want it drag on there. So we'll back those off a little bit. Still feeling a little bit of drag there, and I'm gonna look at where they are and just see. What I'll probably do is go ahead and push the e-brake pedal right now and just see how they feel. Okay, just to show you where I finished up. Got the caliper on there. Got the caliper mounting bolts back here bolted in. You can see where I'm pointing back there. 2 of them. And the caliper guide pin, I put glue on the caliper where the pads go. I took my brake line clamps off up here. And now I just need to bleed the brakes. Okay, here we go. We're going to bleed these brakes. And when I say down, Mrs. Lundquist's going to push the pedal. And I'll open the bleeder valve there. Give you a good shot of the bleeder valve with the wrench on it. So down, and watch the fluid come out here. Up. So I close it, and then she goes up. Again, watch the fluid in here. You'll see it bubbles when I go open. Down. Down. Oh, lost my wrench on it. Up. Down. Down. Up. Okay, so now you're going to see the fluid go in the bottle there. Down. Down. Up. Up. Down. Down. Up. Up. Down. Down. Up. Up. Down. Down. Up. Up. One sec here. One sec, I got my cord all tangled. Down. Down. Up. Up. Down. Down. Up. Up. I'm gonna go check the reservoir. Okay, down. Down. Up. Up. Down. Down. Okay. I'm going to pull that guy off. Put this off. We're going to go to the other side. Pause this. Okay, here we are on the other side. Okay, go down. Down. Up. Up. 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 Down. Down. Up. We've got all the air out for sure, but I'm trying to get the dirty brake fluid out.